changed.
Yeah, I just turned around and made sure he didn't say shut the f up to you.
If you would have told me that that was going to happen last night, I would have been like, whoa.
After months of silence, Quad Webb, the star of Married to Medicine, is finally speaking out about her ex-husband, Dr. Gregory Lunsford, and his new wife, Sweet Tea. In a bold statement, Quad made it clear that she is done staying quiet while others spread false information about her. She's tired of being unfairly portrayed as the villain, especially when she's the one who walked away from a toxic marriage. She's not holding back anymore. Quad openly called out the manipulation, the betrayal, and even suggested that Sweet Tea may not be the innocent new bride people think she is, but instead, might be continuing the same dysfunctional patterns that Quad had been trying to escape from for years. Quad admitted that she kept silent for so long because she didn't want to give her ex's new relationship more attention than it deserved. But after being dragged into drama season after season, especially after Sweet Tea's public breakdowns and wild accusations, Quad decided it was time to speak her truth. She reminded everyone that her marriage with Dr. G didn't end over trivial issues, it ended because of deep emotional wounds, a lack of respect, and a husband who didn't support her.
Probably is a lot for him to see me being happy and have a handsome man who's young and strong. And should I not be allowed to say those things because my ex-husband is sitting here with his new wife? Nobody didn't have that type of grace for me when they was parading around.
She's not bitter, she's relieved. In her eyes, Sweet Tea had signed up for the chaos Quad spent years trying to get away from. Now, let's switch gears and talk about King. No, not a rapper or an athlete, but just King. That's how he was known in Atlanta's circles. His real name was Marky Deshaun Brooks, but when people heard King, they likely imagined someone powerful, successful, and maybe even royalty-level smooth. That's exactly the vibe he wanted to project. King showed up as if he had a lot of money. His wardrobe looked like it came from a high-end personal stylist, and he drove the kind of cars people only see in music videos: matte black Porsches, shiny new BMWs, and high-end G-Wagons. But here's the catch: these cars weren't rentals, and that's when things started to get a little strange. Despite his flashy lifestyle, no one really knew what King did for a living. People would ask, so, what does King do? And the answers were always vague, something like, he's got businesses, or he's in the auto game, or the classic, he's connected. But connected to what, exactly? No one could say for sure. In Atlanta, where people often flaunt wealth and mystery, this kind of behavior usually goes unnoticed if you look the part and have the cash to back it up.
Yeah, I'm going
Oh,
to
they
jail.
said you're going to jail, baby. Why? Why would he do
What am I going to
that?
jail for?
No, don't try to put my
Yeah, I'm
baby
going
in
to jail for
jail.
an argument.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
That's done, honey. King called down to the police precinct, child. They said that was ridiculous and they cannot file any charges. So, people say anything. Don't, and y'all run with it. Don't run with it, baby.
Was
Gotta
I
check
banned
into
from
it.
the show?
So here's the thing in reference to the show. What happened with that after what we saw on the sandbar? My ex, his ego was stepped on, and so he wanted to get one up on us, and so he decided that he wanted to go to the network and complain and go to the police department and try to quote unquote file some charges. And so for the moment, until we were done investigating, they had said that King can film, but he could not film with the rest of the group at that time. But he could, of course, we have our own personal story, so he could continue to film with.
King fit right in at VIP lounges, charity galas, and celebrity birthday parties. He had charm, knew the right people to talk to, and never seemed out of place. On the surface, he looked like the whole package. But even the most polished image can start to crack. For a while, things went smoothly, but then people began to notice that King was showing off in bigger ways: designer gifts, luxury trips, and even Birkin-level bags. Quad's public image also seemed to shift. Instead of portraying herself as a strong, independent woman, she began to show off a softer, more spoiled version of herself. Now, no one can blame her for enjoying the good life, but friends close to her started asking, where is all this money coming from? They didn't mean it in a messy way, but more like, does he even work? The truth was, no one could give a clear answer. He wasn't connected to any known businesses, and people started whispering, is this guy really rich, or is he just really good at looking like it? And then there were the cars. Every couple of weeks, King would show up in a different luxury vehicle. One week it was a Benz, the next a Tesla, and then a brand new BMW with no license plates the following week. People on social media started calling him Atlanta's car fairy as a joke. It was funny at first. But looking back, some of those same cars were later connected to a car theft ring, which King was eventually convicted for.
Teamwork makes the dream work, and in most cases it does.
But in this case,
It's gonna be some shit.
It wasn't just a couple of stolen cars, this was an entire operation. The makes and models of the cars, some with distinctive dents or custom rims, matched vehicles that were seen parked outside Quad's house. At the time, Quad said King had told her he ran a private auto business, and, naturally, if you love someone and they say something like that, you're likely to take their word for it. But it wasn't until later that law enforcement confirmed there was no legitimate business, and the truth about King's criminal activities began to surface. Things took a dramatic turn in late 2023 when news broke in Atlanta about a major investigation into a large-scale car theft ring. This wasn't just a small-time operation. We're talking about stolen cars, fake VINs, fraudulent titles, and everything else that comes with a big-time criminal scheme. Think of it like a Fast and Furious plot, but without the cool stunts and a lot more jail time. At first, it seemed like just another crime story getting exposed, but then in early 2024, King was arrested. He had his mugshot taken, was handcuffed, and the whole world saw it. Law enforcement had been tracking him for months, using surveillance footage, GPS trackers, and fake car registrations. They had proof, and it wasn't just a few stolen cars, it was a full-fledged operation, with King at the center of it all.
what happened last night, I'm gonna let that shit slide, all right?
Okay.
You don't need to speak to her no more.
I don't want to speak to her no
All
more.
right, so don't let it happen, all right? And then we ain't gonna have no problems.
Listen,
All right?
tell her to stop saying the shit that she says.
No, she can say whatever she wanna say.
Not to me, though.
Hold on.
Not to me.
No, she said whatever she
To
wanna
me.
say.
How do you want me not to talk to her and then she can say shit to me?
I'm
Does
telling
that
you,
make sense to you?
if she says something to you, you address me. You don't speak to her.
Check ain't gonna let nothing fall off. No, but I just need you to stay with me. Shaq ain't finna let shit pop out.
You tell her. Don't be coming at me with the crazy shit.
I'm telling you.
And I would, if she come at me
Hold on,
with the crazy shit,
hold on. I'm telling you some shit right now. I know about the past, right? I ain't gonna
you know
fight
her
the
side
past.
of the past.
Tell me something different then. Tell me something
You
different.
gonna find out.
Tell me
You
something
gonna
different.
find out.
You don't want to find out.
What don't I want to find out? Listen, I'm a doctor, bro. I ain't got time to be fighting with people who coming up to me talking, sending like they'll threat. I don't have time to fight you or anybody
I ain't
else.
making no threats.
Anybody
I ain't
else.
making no threats.
I just hope she takes
I
her
ain't making no
I
threats.
hope you sweep off her feet
I ain't
and
making no
sweep her
threats.
as far as you can sweep her, bro.
Bruh,
Look, I got no word for her.
I said one thing.
But tell her to stop saying shit
As long as
about
you
me.
ain't got no words, we good.
Damn,
All right?
man. What,
All
man?
right.
Who you think you're
No,
talking to,
you know
bro?
what I mean? I'm talking to you, mother. What you gonna do? No, we don't need you in here.
I think you was like that because I know how your girl is. So I think you was like that. I think you was like that. That's what you want to do.
Oh shit. No.
No. What you talking about?
That's how they roll. Oh, hell no.
As soon as the news hit, people started putting the pieces together. The cars King had been flaunting on social media, some of them were stolen. And not just from Atlanta, some were traced back to other states. People started remembering how King would show up in new cars with dealer tags that never seemed to come off. It all seemed suspicious, but no one had connected the dots until now. With King behind bars, the spotlight turned squarely on Quad, and the pressure for her to speak out grew. People had questions. Was she involved? Did she know what was going on? Was she hiding something? Some fans showed understanding, commenting that Quad needed time to heal and that she was already embarrassed enough. But others were less kind. They accused her of playing dumb, even suggesting that she must have benefited from the scheme in some way. After all, if your partner is living a lavish lifestyle based on stolen cars, wouldn't you notice something? Here's the thing, sometimes silence doesn't mean guilt. Sometimes it means embarrassment or heartbreak. When you discover that the person you loved and trusted has been living a double life, it's more than just a breakup, it's a deep betrayal. And for someone like Quad, who has had so much of her personal life exposed in the public eye, maybe she just needed a moment to process. When Quad finally spoke out, it wasn't some well-rehearsed, polished media appearance. She went live in a hoodie, with no makeup and no fancy lighting, just raw emotion. Her voice shook as she said, "I loved a man I didn't really know." And that hit hard, because so many people can relate to that feeling, trusting someone completely, only to find out they were hiding their true self. Quad didn't deflect or try to cover things up. She admitted to being embarrassed and ashamed for letting someone like King into her life. She spoke of the humiliation of finding out about his crimes, not in private, but in front of the entire world. In her live video, Quad made it clear that she had nothing to do with the criminal activities. When you watched her, when you listened to her, you could tell this wasn't some scripted statement. It was a woman who was trying to make sense of a betrayal in real time. After King was sentenced, Quad wasted no time making it clear that she was done with him. She unfollowed him on Instagram, deleted all their couple photos, and even removed any trace of him from her bio. And let's be honest, when someone starts wiping you off their social media like you never existed, that's a pretty clear sign that the relationship is over. Insiders say Quad is now focusing entirely on herself. She's working on new projects, rebranding her life, and spending more time with family. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about leveling up. It's as if she's saying, you had your chance, and you blew it. But even as Quad moves forward, one question still lingers. Some fans are still wondering, how did she not know? They've gone back through old posts, zooming in on photos of the cars, the trips, the watches, and trying to connect the dots like they're solving a crime. Some people believe she was blinded by love and just ignored the warning signs. Others think she had to have seen the red flags. I mean, King's life seemed like a music video. He was always surrounded by luxury, but never talked about a real business. But here's the thing, when someone is love bombing you, it's easy to overlook what's real and what's fake. When the person is confident, charming, and knows how to play the role, it's easy to miss the signs. Plenty of smart people have been fooled in the past, so this isn't something unique to Quad. At the end of the day, Quad's not defending King anymore. She's closing that chapter and focusing on herself. She's been through a lot: divorce, betrayal, and a public scandal that could have broken anyone else. But she's still standing, and more than that, she's choosing peace, growth, and putting herself first. So, what do you think? Do you believe Quad had no idea what King was up to, or do you think the signs were always there? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're here for the tea, the truth, and all the receipts, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Catch you in the next one. And there you have it, folks, the wild ride that is Quad Webb's journey through betrayal, scandal, and, ultimately, personal growth. It's been a roller coaster, hasn't it? From the glam of Married to Medicine to the drama that spilled into her real life, Quad's story is a reminder that even the most polished, picture-perfect images can crack under the pressure of truth. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Quad really had no idea about King's criminal activities, or do you think she turned a blind eye to the signs? Was she truly caught up in the romance, or were there red flags all along that she just didn't see? This situation has definitely sparked some heated debates, and I know many of you have your own theories. So, let's talk about it in the comments below. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. Quad's been through a lot: divorce, public scrutiny, and the shock of finding out the man she loved was living a double life. But through all of it, she's come out stronger, wiser, and more focused on herself. It's clear that she's moving forward, not just surviving but thriving. Her story isn't just about what happened in the past, but about how she's taking control of her future. And that's something we can all learn from. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Quad's story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. We've got so much more content coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. Trust me, this channel is just getting started, and I'm so excited to continue sharing the tea, the truth, and everything in between. Before you go, remember, it's important to be mindful of who you trust and to never ignore the red flags. Whether you're in the spotlight or living your life behind the scenes, your peace and happiness always come first. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out.